My grandfather had 10 cameras that I know of. And that means he would, of course, have a bunch of flashes. Here is one of his flashes. Um, the Vivitar Auto Thyristor. Now, it's a film flash, and if you know how to work one of these, good for you. We're not gonna look into these though. I just wanted to show this, and like, it looks very similar to a flash nowadays, but it's not. It's for film. But the flashes that I find most interesting are the ones that are so old that I don't think. I think that they. I'm hoping I can find batteries for them. Anywho, so let's start with this first one. I found it with my grandfather's Minolta 16. It was attached to the case for the Minolta 16, and inside it was this. Basically, you would take a bulb. He had a bunch of bulbs, of course. Kind of not surprising because he had the kitchen sink in his camera bag. Like, I had no clue he liked photography to the point where he had 4 things of unused camera film, a bunch of flashes and flash bulbs, and a bunch of cameras. Impressive photography skills. No, seriously, he was very impressive looking at his color slides. I was just mainly thinking, how was this taken on a manual film camera and not a modern day digital automatic camera? Anywho, so this is the flash. He would plug it in. I'm too lazy to grab my grandpa's Minolta 16. And so let's use his Pentax for example. Of course, you would slide it on, and you would have it like this. And right here would be where you would take this thing off, and then you would plug the cord right into there. Now you'd of course need a battery for the Minolta. Here's the thing. You would of course need a battery for the flash. Now, before we get into the battery, let's get into the back. Right here, there's this button right here. It's kind of hard to see with the lighting. There you go. You can see it. That white rectangle. You press it, and it ejects this out. Watch. Feels like I'm playing with the Lego stud shooter things. You'd slide it in, and then, well, it's not a plaything. But yeah. Then this is also to test the flash on this button right here. And that's about it for all I know how to use. For this, I don't know what to do. And frankly, I probably won't learn. But anywho, how you take the cover off to get to the battery is simply you just carefully pull. And here's the battery. Yeah, I found this battery like this. I found it in here when I first opened it up. Like, how is this battery not exploded? Is it even used? No clue. At first I thought it was Mattel. Like, but no, it's not. Anywho, so here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure if this battery works. I know it doesn't on this, or at least, or whatever. Anywho, so let's move on to the next one. This one. A Canon flash unit model J13. Now this one is pretty interesting because it does have the adjustment settings to adjust it for a flash. Like, it's a manual flash. And there's the eject button here, and the same button that was on the other flash we just looked at. Now, let's put the battery in, because I'm not 100% sure that this battery is functional. Oh. And there we go. It's in. Now, let's put the flash bulb in, and now, I have no clue. Anyhow, let's take the battery out. There we go. So yeah. There's tape on here for some reason. I tried to peel it off, but it's so old and sticky that it's kind of hard for me to do it. And on the bottom here, you'll see this. you can slide it like this. And watch it when I slide it. That's right. You can choose between this type of bulb or this type of bulb. Yes. Again, my grandfather had a bunch of stuff to do with photography. I'm just surprised. Especially since I didn't know about it until after he died. And so that's this flash looked at. Now, let's look on to my favorite one. You might be thinking, and you might be looking at it and thinking, that's a flash. Yeah, it is. It kind of doesn't really look like it. But anyway, we're going to use this thing for an example. My grandfather had this, actually. All of my photography stuff, besides my tripod. That's the only thing that I have to do with photography that wasn't my grandfather's. So, we're going to use the Pentax K1000 for this example. I'm going to take off the lens cap and the thing for the plug. And, so, yeah, we have it on here, which is basically, like, you would hold it like this. You'd hold it like this. And yeah, like, I like it. And then on the top is where the flash would go. Now, first, let's take a look at this flash. Now, right here is the cord that it would plug in. And right here is something interesting. Ta-da! And then, if I can get it. There we go. Yeah. This is what the flash looks like. I'm moving my lamp. Anyhow. So, the best example I could think of where I've seen this used is Colin Creevey in the Harry Potter series. I've seen him use it in like the Harry Potter series, like the character Colin Creevey. He used a flash that was pretty similar to this. But yeah, on the back, you'll see how you could adjust it. Manual flash again. The eject button for the bulb, and then the bulb test button. We're going to look at that after we put the not sure if this battery is functional battery into the flash. Oh shoot, this is magnetic. This might wreck it. Oh shoot, I'm just hoping that it didn't. But we'll see, and if it does, yeah, I probably won't be able to get a new one. There we go. And now, let's test it. Okay. I'm just hoping that, like, I really want to be able to use this flash in particular. It's the most interesting one in my opinion. I can't really get that battery out now without using my fingers. Anyhow, there we go. And it's almost out. There we go. And let's get that back on now. Still gonna keep it to hope to be able to find some batteries for it. But basically, this, let's get it like here, 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 here. There we go. And let's slide it onto here. And then, oh, there we go. Put it back on. And this is what it would look like. The flash like this and the camera right here. Now, would it be more appropriate if I used a camera from the same time era? Of course. That's why I'm doing that. Because I don't know when specifically this flash was made. But if I were to make any guess, I'd say 1950. Because that's when my grandfather was an adult. And he had two cameras from the 1950s. The Minolta 16 released in 1955 and the Zes-Icon Contaflex released in 1954. I'm grabbing the Zes-Icon Contaflex. Alright. So, let's take it out of the case. And there we go. There's a bunch of other photography stuff my grandfather had. And by a bunch, I mean, it's to the point where I'm surprised he did it as a hobby. And, yeah. He was very impressive with his photography skills. The crazy thing is, he died in 2019, and I only found his photography stuff in October of 2022. And so I never got the chance to be like, hey, Grandpa, what's this stuff? Which does make me a bit sad. Well, of course it does. And made me think, what would be something that I would want, or that I could go back in time and say something to someone, but I couldn't change time? I'd probably compliment my grandfather and his photography skills. Because, well, you know why I'm sharing this with you? Well, because I want to. It's just something I'm very passionate about, and I think he'd be proud to see that I'm very passionate about vintage photography. But here's another thing. If we forget about the past, we can't move on to the future. And so, that's just some corny message I kind of phoned in at the last minute. But yeah. Just remember. Like, don't be like, how could they use that? How could they stand using that 70 years ago? Because they had nothing else to use. Like, this stuff, I think, is really cool. And I don't really have much else to say. So thank you for watching this video.